Welcome everybody to another Division Series race hosted by XGR and presented by Specter Labs. We are at Baijni. We're racing Mustangs only. I'm joined by Osashis. How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty well. Unfortunately, had to step out just for some family stuff, so I missed the heat races leading into this, but I'm really excited to see how this goes in the main events. I know we've got 6 really talented racers going to go at it here on this really cool zero-G track.
Yeah, you really did miss something. It was a pretty exciting heat session. We see a lot of new joiners, and we see some of the OGs who only managed to win a heat a little bit later on. We can run through our lineup for main 1. If we can grab the grid overview marble, we'll have a look. Our first winner was Splen, of course. We see Splen winning Heat 1. It's not really a surprise, is it, considering that he is the author of this racetrack?
Yeah. Not only one of the top racers in the world in Star Citizen, but also the one that designed this awesome track. And then, Boltok in second. Again, no surprise, Boltok has been showing his colors in all of the recent racing, showing that he's really fast. We've got a couple of fairly new faces, though, in Dikudes and Gerbo the Gnome. So really exciting to see a couple new people getting their pro license in this pro main. And then, of course, Shaknu and Phobabet, some former XGR. Of course, Shaknu, very well known, just like Splen as well. So some exciting folks here to slug it out and see who can be the champion of this track.
My money is on Boltok. We know he's really fast, and observing him running this track, battling people like Splen and Shaknu, I can say he is really fast. And I've got, my money is on Boltok. I'd love to see him walk away with the win here today. Shaknu surprising me a little bit then today, only winning the 5th heat. I feel like he's got the track down, but tends to overshoot here and there. I'm noticing that primarily around Cinnamon Twist. Also, he had a hiccup going through the split forks, where you have to choose either the left or right one. That's what it's all about in this race: avoiding overshooting, doing the turn and burn, as we always talk about, and just really avoiding going too fast, because often enough you'll notice that if you go too fast, you just can't stop in time and you lose precious seconds.
Yeah, we had talked about this in the last Extreme G podcast and various times recently. It's been a long stretch of a lot of atmospheric racing here in XGR land. And only recently have we picked back up some vacuum racing. So the guys that have put in the time really got reacquainted with vacuum racing. You know, that's going to show. And the people that don't have quite as much practice and are trying to get comfortable again, that will also show.
Absolutely. So we've got pretty much everybody lined up, it looks like. We can, Marble, just hide the grid lineup again and just get a clear picture here of everybody lined up. I'm really thrilled. Of course, for those that are unaware or unfamiliar with our system, we've got the 3 mains that we're racing today. So 3 races of 6 laps, and out of those 3 races, we're going to get a winner. Basically, we sum up all the 3 races, and one person is going to do the best across the 3 of them, and they're going to win some really exciting prizes. First of all, a custom Specter Labs keyboard and mouse pad. We've been lucky enough to give these away now for every division winner. And if you're interested anyway, you can go and check them out at printyourpad.com. They are of amazing quality. Boltok has won one, Splen's won one. I'm using one myself as well. So is Marble. They are really cool. And then, of course, we've got the 400i with Fortuna Paint, game package, and LTI, the whole freaking shebang, going to that same race winner. So there's a lot on the line here. And of course, you can win something exciting today too. All you have to do is be active in chat in stream today, and between main 2 and 3 we will be giving away a Nomad with game package and LTI as well to one lucky audience member. So be sure to root and cheer for your favorite racer today in chat. Those prizes are awesome, eh?
Oh, that's so awesome. You know how much I love Origin ships and my 400i, so anybody getting their hands on a 400i, that's awesome. Nomad, also one of my favorites, so yeah, make sure you're active in chat. That's really exciting. Some great stuff up for grabs, in addition to bragging rights from these guys, right? So these guys are always trying to slug it out, show who's best, and we'll see after today.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing.
Stand by for me.
This is the really exciting thing, of course, about division racing. It really filters out the best of the best. And in front of us today, we are looking at the best of the best ship racers out there. 6 racers today were able to show up and qualify for the main section. And you're not going to find any faster racers. So putting them together in Mustangs on a 0G track is very exciting.
Yeah, you mentioned the Mustang as well too. It's something that up until recently had a little bit of a break, didn't see a lot of racing, and now we've seen these guys try to tame that beast again, which flies very differently from the typical racing ships like the P-72 or M50. So it'll be fun to see these guys that have really put in the practice, really taking advantage of those unboosted lats, the unboosted maneuvering of that ship in general compared to some of the other ships.
Oh man, I love flying the Mustang exactly for that reason. M50, it's fast. P-72, it's fast, but that Mustang will fly fine without boosting. Something that I really enjoy personally, so totally get that.
Yeah, we talked about this before as well with the Mustang having, it's a pretty big ship compared to some of the other racers, and it's got wings that stick out at an angle kind of in the way. So I'll be curious to see who's going with a little bit of the cheesy tactics here and running like landing gear up to get those wings tucked a little bit out of the way as well.
I checked that. I actually checked that before during the heats, and there was not a single person here today that said they were going to run with the wings up and gear down. So honestly, kind of happy about it because, aesthetics do demand something too. For those unfamiliar, you can lower your landing gear in this ship, which then folds the wings up, which makes you a little bit of a smaller target with no consequence to your thrust capacity. So it would actually benefit having it down, but I guess everybody here cares about looking good on stream too.
Good deal. I would be the same way, so props to them for not taking the advantage and instead wanting to look fly.
Though I will say, it's hard to see who's what people are really doing on a track like this because 0G makes things look very, very small. We try to obviously keep our camera team out of the lines as well. Shout out to Turkin and Kaylee Star who joined us today to help camera operate. We'll do our best to target the racers because as you can see, we've got Splen currently targeted. He is your race leader, and that will clue you in a little bit as to the attitude of the ships as well and show you what they're doing.
Yeah. It would be awesome if we could go even closer because some of the maneuvers these guys will pull in certain sections of the track would absolutely blow your mind. But like you mentioned, pay attention to that arrow. You can really tell the orientation of the ship, see how these guys are throwing it around, flying the ship backwards much of the time. So you can really start to appreciate the skill these guys are putting on display.
100%. Shout out as well to SCR then, scr.gg. That's a website you can visit. They are providing us with these beautiful overlays you're seeing in the top left of your screen. We'll use that to show you live everybody's position, the times, the lap count, and all the beautiful things, the gaps between racers. And a shout out to our race director, Luigi, then, who manually works hard to tag every racer across the line and make those overlays work and show useful data.
It's not easy, so yeah, huge props to Louis for all the manual work he puts in to track our racers along the way.
Race starts in 30 seconds. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, our race director usually calls 60 seconds for green flag, and then after 30 seconds, no racer is allowed to speak. And then it is go time. We'll have a go signal as well that is audible to the racers with a variable timer, so the racers don't exactly know when to set off. Let's watch this unfold. This is going to be really exciting. I've been noticing during the drift, Shaknu going a little wide. Obviously, we haven't seen Splen race today, so it'll be really exciting to see if he's warmed up enough.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how much. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, let's watch this unfold then. The races are off. Oh my God, Splen's going very vertical. Feels like he gave up quite some there. Boltok with a very tight inside line. Looks like we've got Deku currently in the lead.
Yeah, surprisingly Splen in the back of the pack right now, but taking it really tight. Yeah, Deku in the lead right now going into the forks here. They're going to go over, then under, then back over. Boltok in second, Gerbo the Gnome in third. Splen's closed up into fourth place at this point, so he's closing. Boltok overtaking the lead, heading into the bun run.
Yeah, this is really nice. Now it's all about retro braking and not overshooting, and we see Deku do exactly that. He is braking a lot later and drifting extremely wide. I think that'll give Boltok the advantage. Yeah, look at the distance Boltok then carrying on Deku. Boltok with a very clean lead now, and this is exactly what I meant. It's so easy to get into the lead, but if that means you're overshooting, it's not going to last very long.
Yeah, that's something we talk about that's really tricky all the time too. Trying to race your own lines, your own speed, and not get pressured by, other racers in proximity and being forced to push a little bit harder than overshooting things. That is really punishing and backing. Oh, Gerbo down.
Yeah, Gerbo then. I was gonna say, let's see who makes it through the Cinnamon Twist. Looks like everybody is making it through other than Gerbo. Shaknu running, it looks like in last place at the moment as Boltok enters lap 2.
Yeah, Splen's moved his way up to second now. He's still got a big distance between Splen and Boltok, so he's got some time to close up. Boltok looking really clean and really solid right now as he heads into the donut drift once again here on lap 2. Deku coming in hot to overtaking Splen, or at least competing with him there. Went really wide compared to Splen, keeping it really tight around donut drift. Boltok going into the forks here, or clack the tongs as it's called. Yeah, you can see Boltok just completely backwards as he's going through there, right? Taking advantage of those mains, really flying the ship in any direction but the direction he's going.
Yeah, it's insane. Looking at Boltok as well, turning 90 degrees to the side to lean on those verts as he's flying through a very, very tight tunnel. And it really does require a lot of skill because you need to be able to look over your shoulder, focus on that TVI, and input the right thrust to fly essentially in reverse as you're slowing down. That's the beautiful thing about Zero G.
Yeah, it's tricky too because it requires a lot of muscle memory of these tracks. You really have to practice, put in the time, get used to certain points of vision even when your head tracking won't quite make up, right? So that you can just basically do it by memory, do it with your eyes closed, and that's how these guys are able to push crazy pace. Oh,
big overshoot by Splen. Yeah, he overshot going towards the Cinnamon Twist and tried to correct it then, and on stopping, he wasn't able to do it. And hit the side.
Oh, and Phoba goes down in the same spot, so Phoba is out as well. Boltok going into the drift once again here on lap 3.
Yeah,
he's got a massive lead over Deku. Yeah.
At this point, Boltok's got to just keep his head down and probably slow it down just a tad. Run a comfortable pace and let Deku in second place crawl closer a little bit and take less risk. Or he can just run his pace and see what happens. I was going to say it's nighttime at the moment here, meaning the planet is obscuring our beautiful star, and so the racers are using their headlights. The Gamma's got pretty good headlights, so they do a lot, and without any atmospheric weather effects, it's very much doable.
Yeah, it's definitely raceable at night. It does add a little bit of trickiness. It does kill a little bit of visibility for sure, but it's more than raceable, especially with the lights on the Gamma, like you mentioned. We stated it. I can't overstate this. Boltok, if you pay attention to him, he is never facing his direction of travel. His nose is never pointed to his vector. He's just flying this thing sideways and backwards and nose down the entire time, trying to take full advantage of the thrusters.
It's so beautiful, man. It's exactly what zero-G racing is all about. Turning your butt and your main engines into the turn and slowing down with them. But gosh, going through the tunnels at Cinnamon Twist, it's so narrow. I mean, it's wide, you know, if you're looking at it from a human size perspective, but with these really powerful ships where one little squirt of the throttle sees you flying into either side, it's narrow.
Yeah, especially at speed. If you're creeping along, you know, just barely moving, it's going to feel plenty wide. But if you're trying to push it at race pace, yeah, it starts to feel very, very, very narrow there. Really tricky to pull off efficiently.
We're about 2/3 into this race then now. Boltok making his way through his 4th lap. Again, flying in reverse here with a very beautiful lead. Just about 5 minutes in. We don't have a time limit for these main races. So they continue going on until somebody crosses the finish line or only one racer is left, and they win by default due to elimination, I guess.
So taking a look here at the battle for second, Shacknew's actually made his way around Dikudes. Starting to gap a little bit, it looks like, as they head into the donut, or actually head into the, where they're shooting down through the station hole again. Deku went really wide there. I can't help but think that he's probably feeling a little bit of pressure trying to catch back up to Shacknew after getting past. But yeah, Shacknew with a clear second now. Actually looks like he may potentially be closing on Boltok just a little bit, but he's running out of time in this race.
Yeah, we're now on to the final lap for Boltok, and we're watching Shacknew then approaching the start-finish. So quite a ways back. I want to say a good 10, well, let's say 20, maybe even 30 seconds at this point. It's a pretty big gap.
Yeah,
mind you, the overlays tell us it's only
mistake.
9. Yeah, it's only 9 seconds, really. Yeah, I guess time ticks slowly when you're racing. Yeah, it's funny how that works. Yeah. It's only 9 seconds. The overlays don't lie. I hope to see Shacknew warm up in these races a little bit. I want to see him crawl ever so closer to the lead. Obviously, he's going to have to start every race from 5th place, so you know he's got some ground to cover or to make up, but it's not that much.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen you can make up a lot of time on that start, even compared to like what happened to Splen having the best position there and coming out dead last. So executing that start and that, you know, entry into drift with as much pace as possible without overshooting can definitely net you a lot of time.
You know what Boltok is showing us today? He's showing us, again, that slow is fast. And by that, of course, we mean to make your way around a lap as quickly as possible, you have to go slowly because you can't overshoot. And it's so easy to overshoot in 0G, right? And Boltok is running extremely tight lines around Cinnamon Twist, around the start-finish, around the oval drift, the donut drift, that is. It's really nice to see. And there he comes across the finish line in reverse. Oh, he still got... let's see what's happening here. Either I made a mistake or we are now on the final lap. I thought we were on the final lap.
I believe we're actually now on the final lap. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. So I think, yeah, Boltok is on his final pass around here now, or his final pass around Donut Drift. So
gotcha. Okay,
see if you
one
can
more
hold
lap.
this together.
Yeah, super impressed. I'd like to see the others then catch up to Boltok's pace. Like I said, though, my money is on Boltok today. I just have a really good feeling about his performance. He's been super consistent, not showing any mistakes, and quite comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you probably made a good call too now, because one of his biggest contenders in Splen is now sitting in a big points deficit. So Boltok just needs to really be consistent going through here, and that pretty much rules Splen out of taking first away from him as long as Boltok doesn't have a big incident. See,
the thing is, with Splen winning Heat 1, he's obviously not warmed up a lot. Boltok has had a lot of opportunity to race this track in the heats. Hell, actually, I need to correct that. He won Heat 2, so he only had one more race over Splen. So I guess it really does come down to who's put in more practice. I don't know. We see Shacknew and Cinnamon Twist. I don't know. I feel like he caught up just a little bit. No, 12 seconds between them. Actually, quite a lot. There it is then. Boltok across the finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great,
That's
racing
gorgeous.
to Boltok. Here goes Shaq New across the line in second place.
Yeah,
And
and
fortunately, those are our only 2 survivors.
Yeah.
Everyone else DNF'd at a certain point along this race.
so they're lucky that there's only 6 racers when you think about it. You know, to talk about the Olympic scoring, Boltok is going to take 1 place. 1 point. Shaq New is going to take 2 points. Deku is going to take 3 points, even though he DNF'd, so forth. And that means, of course, like you mentioned, Splen with a pretty big deficit because they take those points with them. And at the end of the day, those with the fewest points, they win.
Yeah. We can review that really quick since we don't know anybody new to this style of XGR racing. We use Olympic scoring over the 3 main events. Your position is your score. So if you finish first, 1 point, second, 2 points, etc. Go 3 main events and add up all those points, and the lowest points win.
Let's hit the
So
race results, Marble. Sorry about that, Ashi.
No worries.
Okay, says here 5 laps. Yeah, that's the same bug we ran in last time. They completed their 6 laps then, of course, with Boltok in first place and Shaq New in second with 11 seconds between them. So the gap did increase initially from 6 to 12, but then it looks like Shaq New reduced the gap again a little bit, just by about a second. Yeah, I hope to see more finishers in the next races. It's always the tight corners. I wondered if anybody did not blow up around the tunnel of Cinnamon Twist.
It definitely seemed like, that was where I think everybody that I saw, bit it. So it's a really tricky section. Unsurprising there to, of course, see Boltok with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:32.846, it looks like.
Yeah, lovely.
Definitely a fast, consistent race for him. All of the laps looked I didn't see any major mistakes from him, any major overshooting, just looked rock solid.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think because we set time limits and things like that for the heats to sort of set, a difficulty level, and I believe we used 80, I think it was 83 seconds from the top of my head. So that would mean, I could be wrong here. So I think our previous record was, no, gosh, I honestly don't remember. I'm going to be talking out of my butt if I keep going.
I apologize. I do not recall, unfortunately.
I thought it was like 80, 83, but it can't be if we're doing 130s today.
Yeah, that would be really fast compared to this, so.
I can look this up,
sure.
though. It's pretty easy. Let's see. So you're a 400i fanboy. How do you feel about losing out to the 600i in this Ship Showdown this year?
I think it's incredibly annoying and I'm super frustrated. It is what it is. It's all good.
I was gonna say.
But Cutter's still in the running, so I'm still happy. As long as the Cutters keep surviving. We'll
that's your new favorite, isn't it?
I like that little ship a lot. Very fun.
So
and Fuse saying 600i best ship, of course, since he has one.
So here's the thing, dude. If Boltok was running a 132, something's up because we've timed it to 126 for time trials. So people are running 126s with Mustangs if they're doing this at the fastest pace. So that shows you there is still a lot of time to be gained.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I could for sure see that especially with that kind of that rubber banding that was happening. Shaq New was probably pushing closer to that time and closing up, but taking more risks. And that was just a super consistent race from Boltok with no mistakes. So lots of times that'll net you a win if you just have 6 consistent laps in a row that are really good pace, but maybe not world record breaking. You have a really good chance of winning.
Absolutely. DJ Bunton then saying, Terrapin, let's go. I mean, Terrapin's losing, you realize that, yeah? To the frickin' Vulture of all ships. Don't think the Terrapin's gonna make it, unless maybe the voting is already closed and it's a sealed, done deal now. I don't know. But yeah, good job to race to Boltok. Seb as well says, GG Boltok. And quick reminder, we've got a beautiful prize for one lucky audience member. We're giving that away after this race, so stay tuned and be sure to be active in chat. Very important. Cheer on your favorite racer. Maybe actually I can put you all up for a challenge now. Please post in chat as many times as you want. Who are you rooting for? Which racer? Just write their name. Which racer are you cheering on? We'll see what comes in. My money's on Boltok. What about you, Ashi?
I think at this point, yeah, it's going to have to be. I would have said Splen before, especially with this being his baby, his track. But after that unfortunate 5th place there in main event 1, he's got a big hole to dig out of. So yeah, Boltok seems likely.
But I mean, who are you rooting for? Now, who's likely?
Probably Foba. I'm rooting for Foba. I've seen him racing a lot lately, right? He's been a mainstay around XGR, so I want to see him come out and get some good results.
Very, very good. I'm seeing a lot of Foba in chat. I'm seeing Boba, Foba Boba. I'm seeing Boltok. Did I see any Shaq up there? I don't know.
Oh, Shaq. You've got a bunch of students ticked off at you or something. You're not getting enough support here. What's going on?
Oh, I know what's going on. Come on. All right, where's our Splen's lined up, Boltok's lined up, Gerbo's here, Phoba's here, Shaqnu's here. We're doing any race interviews?
Yeah, we definitely could. While they're lining up, let's pull Boltok down really quick and just ask him about the race real quick.
All right, let's. We'll need Louis as well for translation. Shout out to all our French viewers and speakers.
Hey, Boltok! Great job on that race. Awesome job.
Et hello, Boltok. Félicitations à la course.
Merci.
He said thank you.
Boltok, were you pushing it at all, or was that just nice, consistent laps, keeping it nice and casual and easy, and just making sure you hit your lines?
Boltok, est-ce que tu étais en train de pousser un peu, ou bien c'était un peu consistant et tout ça?
C'était le plus consistant possible, parce que je sais que la piste est difficile en Ratmo, donc pour éviter les crashs, je préfère aller un peu plus lentement que la normale.
He said, yeah, he was a bit consistent. He knows this track is difficult, so specifically in VOD, so he's trying not to crash.
Right on.
I would like to know what Boltok's boost strategy looks like. If he wants to share, how is he applying his boost around this track? What is his focus?
Il a demandé, est-ce que tu as une tactique au niveau de ton utilisation de boost? Est-ce que tu veux partager avec nous, ou bien est-ce que tu veux garder ça en secret?
Non, il n'y a pas de secret. Après, je me sers beaucoup du boost pour ralentir, parce que c'est ça le risque, c'est d'aller trop vite et dépasser son virage.
D'accord. He said no secrets. He only used the boost to slow down,
Nice.
because that's the toughest part, and everything he just flies normally.
Okay.
Thank you, Boltok. Good luck in main 2.
Merci, Boltok.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, it shows again the difference between zero-G and atmospheric racing, right? Where in atmospheric racing, you really lean on atmosphere to slow you down instead of wasting your boost. But then here, again, we were talking about avoiding that overshooting, and it looks like Boltok is really then leaning onto the boost to kind of function as his atmosphere, his safety net to do the slowing down.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense too why his time isn't, pushing that world record pace as well too, because I don't think you're going to push those times without utilizing a lot of boost still for acceleration. But obviously it was the right call in main event 1 since he came out with a clean win, so can't question the tactics.
This
60
is
seconds till main 2.
This is when I want to see Splen really get away with it. Obviously, we saw that crash from him. I think it was on lap 2. and I feel like there's just so much potential there up his sleeve still to really give Bulltalk a run for his money. I want to see some tight battles, especially around Cinnamon Twist, where you're doing that loop and for a moment you're looking backwards around the track, especially when you have head tracking. There's a chance you'll catch a glimpse of your opponent, and that's got to play with your mind, and then it comes down to keeping it cool. I want to see that really tight battle. And of course, I'm hoping Shaknu to be there, and Phoba, and Gerbo. Let's go.
30 seconds.
Heck yeah.
Reminder then, we've got Bulltalk with a single point, so he's currently in the lead for these three main races, with Shaknu in second place, but anything is still possible at this point. For Splen to win, he's definitely going to need some crashes on the side of Bulltalk and Shaknu, or it will be really difficult.
Yep. For Splen, there's really nothing to lose at this point. He needs to win out, period.
Yeah, he does. He has to run maximum pace. He's got to go for the time trials.
Yep.
Looks like we're off. No countdown this time. Good launch then from everybody. Let's see where we are. We've got Splen running sideways already. We'll have to see how this develops around the oval. Who can avoid overshooting? It looks like it's a very close battle between Gerbo and Splen. Bulltalk actually losing out a little bit, and Shaknu then running in third.
Yeah, Gerbo holding it tight there. Splen coming a little bit wider, actually, but coming in really hot to clack the tongs. They go again, over, under, over. So it looks like Splen's overtaking the lead at this point as they head down towards the bun run.
Yeah, clack the tongs is beautiful because if you do it right, you fly through it as flat as possible and kind of eliminating the vertical aspect of that part, the up, down, and Splen did that really well.
Yeah, notice there they have an option, right? So Bulltalk choosing the left, whereas everybody else choosing the right option through those forks as they come back towards where they're going to dive back down through the station center. Bulltalk gets there first.
Yeah,
no,
Splen
is there.
lead.
Sorry, lost him there. So yeah, Bulltalk in a clear second now.
Let's watch Splen then going through the Cinnamon Twist. He doesn't overshoot this time. He's a little wide around it. Bulltalk is tighter. Might be able to close the gap just a little bit, but still a very clean lead for Splen. I think we have Gerbo then crashing.
Gerbo down. Splen or Shaknu taking third, inheriting third from Gerbo going down there. Yeah, I think that's going to be our major source of casualties throughout this entire race day. It's definitely going to be that section. It is just so ridiculously tricky to pull off, especially at pace.
I will say I really enjoy Baijni Blitz with a low number of racers, especially when they're all so close together as pros, because it makes the Cinnamon Twist manageable. Obviously, currently we're seeing debris staying in place if racers crash. So the more debris there is around Cinnamon Twist, the harder and tighter that part becomes. So yeah, this is pretty good to see. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, very, very cool to see. Bulltalk holding pace with Splen so far.
Yeah.
So Splen not totally running away.
I feel like Splen runs even better than Bulltalk the reverse game, where Bulltalk is kind of 90 degrees sideways using the verts. Splen is really turned all the way around and bicording on verts and mains to the extreme.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes to
Splen's
flight style,
fast.
and Bulltalk really leans on that tri-cording flight style really heavily, whether it's Atmo or Zero G, and it's definitely showcased here.
We talk about this all the time. For a moment, I thought Splen was fast there, but the great thing about the Cinnamon Twist is if you overshoot, but you can still kind of make the side exit, you can actually exit and just run a really sort of extended loop, and that's what Splen did, and running a little wide compared to someone like Bulltalk. But yeah, being able to exit the tunnel, if you will, and just run a sort of elongated loop.
And we just unfortunately lost Phoba Bed at the same place. He came in really hot and didn't make it, so unfortunately he is out now as well.
Rip. We had Phoba then finishing 6th place in... No, correction. We had him finishing in 4th place for the first main. And then, yeah, it looks like this will be the first elimination, so he will finish in 6th place. Of course, we run that way, don't we? Where if you blow up, your finishing position is the position where you blew up.
Correct. Yeah. That's the way to make Olympic scoring, really. So if you are, in 5th when you crash, somebody had crashed before you, that's what the points that you will get. That's the score that you will get.
You know what I've noticed? We're watching Splen right now, Boltok doing the same thing. When they head for Whammer's Whip, going down the oval center, if you will, they really run flat lines. Like when I run this thing, I end up like overshooting with a lot of vertical energy and momentum, and I have to cancel all that momentum, and so I'm covering way too much ground. These guys, they don't. They're so tight through the turns that they essentially run flat alongside the whole beam. And really cover as little ground as possible.
Yeah, it's always that balancing act between, reducing the amount of distance covered compared to keeping up your momentum. And, obviously the balance point they're finding here is actually pretty tight compared to some of the lines we've seen around this track.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Splen just looking in his zone now. Comfy, cozy, consistent laps on this track that he knows all so well. Boltok has kept it, a similar distance though, but I can't say that it looks like he's closing. Shackney with a clear 3rd as well, just about as far back from Boltok as Boltok is from Splen.
We can keep an eye on the gaps. Of course, they're currently running on their 4th lap. The gap was 6.7 seconds at start-finish. We'll have a look then when they cross the finish line next, if that gap is building or shrinking.
Yeah, and again, we'll see here Splen taking that right fork and Boltok taking the left. I don't think there's really an advantage there. It's all just kind of pilot preference, what feels good, taking a left turn versus a right turn.
Yeah, it's so cool that, isn't it? Like, I prefer the right because I think I prefer right turns, but I don't know. I've heard people prefer left turns as well. I think you prefer left turns.
Yeah, and for me it's left, and I prefer left turn, so I'm guessing there's some psychological correlation there, but...
Yeah. Very interesting.
Splen's going really wide there again around Cinnamon Twist, so yeah, much less tight than Boltok, who's pretty much hugging that center post.
Makes you question, there's a balance, of course, too tight and you're too slow, too fast and wide and you're also too slow. So there's got to be a balance there. So the gap now 4.8 seconds. That means Boltok is closing. So I think the answer is tight is fast.
Yeah. I can definitely pick out some sections of this track where it seems like Splen has a little bit quicker, and some sections where it seems like Boltok's really tight tricordy lines seem faster as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about this. It's a pretty long track. There's different sections that require different styles.
Just goes to, this all showcases the beauty of Star Citizen flight model and all of the nuances that go into it. Being able to really fly on mains or really fly on bike tricording, fly your ship in a straight line versus fly your ship, pointing the wrong direction all the time. And a lot of times these different strategies come out really close to one another in terms of performance. So it's awesome that you can, have more than one way to skin a cat in Star Citizen racing.
That is very true. Just a heads up for Marble, my camera's off for just a minute. So yeah, you're commentating on your own for just a sec as I'm blind.
Yeah, no worries. Splen's still in the lead coming out the end of that shoot here. Boltok looks like he's closing even more. We'll get some confirmation here. We are on the final lap now, so this will be Splen's last pass around the donut drift. That might have been a little bit of network there. I saw a little shutter there from him. Could have been a little mistake. Yeah, we're seeing about 7-second gap still, so it looks like the gap is pretty much equalized here. Just kind of rubber banding a little bit. Splen coming in hot here to clack the tongs. Over, under, over. And then he'll be dipping down for his final pass through the bun run, which is this lower chute here with the big cargo containers at each side. Love the names on this track. There's a bunch of silliness. It's just good fun.
Absolutely. I'm back in the game as well, watching Splen then go towards Whammer's Whip for the last time, eh?
Yeah. Last time here, Boltok pushing it. You can tell a little bit, maybe closed a little bit of that section.
Yeah, he's
We'll
close,
see.
but is he going to overshoot more now here? He's probably just making a last-ditch effort now to see if he can...
Oh, he still kept it really tight and nice there.
Okay, he is tight. If he can close the gap again on Cinnamon Twist. Splen is wide.
Here we are, Boltok keeping it really close. Oh.
I think they were about the same pace through there. And while Boltok is close, it is not close enough. There is Splendid across the finish for the last time, and Boltok as well. The gap then closing to 1.1 second on the last lap. That was insane. And this time only two finishers. Even Shacknu DNF'd on lap 4.
Yeah, unfortunately we missed the wreck from Shacknu. Yeah, two finishers once again. This time Splendid and Boltok.
Rangy's also all set.
All right, let's pull Splendid here really quickly and see how that felt for him.
Hello there.
Splen, hey, good racing. How did that one go for you? You had Boltok closing on you there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I spent some leadership economy at the end for sure because I knew I had a bit of a gain. So, you know, obviously I didn't want to make the same mistake I did in main event 1 where I was going too fast in double dog dash. So made sure to take it slow in the last few laps and, you know, made sure I had just enough lead to take the first spot.
Right on.
Good racing, Splen. That was really nice to see you make a little bit of a comeback. I have high hopes for you. Are you kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that Boltok is able to drop back a bit, still keeping you in the running?
We'll see what happens. I mean, you know, it's a dangerous course. I know because I helped make it. You know, anything could happen, but yeah, I just gotta push as hard as I can, and maybe I still have a chance of squeezing something out of this.
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ashi. I wanted to ask you, Splen. Cinnamon Twist. It's a magical part of the track. We're watching yourself kind of shooting out of the gap, running a little bit of an extended line before you're able to loop in. So just entering it a little bit faster than I noticed Boltok is doing. He's running extremely tight lines around there. How do you see that loop? And what is kind of your goal in terms of, you know, how wide or how tight do you go? What's the fastest way through that?
Well, my goal is to keep this enormous Mustang Omega away from all the geometry. That is my goal. Normally, I mean, as you've seen from some of my videos, I take it a lot tighter in something like a P72, especially for time trials. But safety first here. You know, that's the most dangerous part of the track. So I know better than to get way too close. I've bumped my nose on that too many times. So good for Boltok being able to have that control there, but I'm taking it wide on purpose.
Last question for me, at least for me, really quick. So we all know that the Gamma flies very differently compared to a lot of the other, you know, core racing ships. How does that transition feel for you if you're swapping back from, say, doing time trials in something like a P72 and then having to hop back in this thing?
I mean, the most noticeable difference you'll have here is, of course, the wonderful cockpit view of the Mustang, which is extremely helpful. But I mean, even though it is competitively close to the P72, the sheer size of it keeps it from being too competitive. So it's a second, but not exactly a close second. You know?
Gotcha.
So I'm looking now. You're sitting at 6 points. Boltok is sitting at 3. So if you win, you need what? Boltok to finish 3rd, right? Am I saying that correctly? Yeah, then you'd yeah, if you finish 1st and he finishes 3rd again in the next one, you could still come out on top, I think.
We'll see what happens.
You've got Shacknu at 5. Shacknu is still sitting at 5 points, so yeah, he can't do too well either. Well, good performance, man. Glad to see you racing.
Yeah, great racing, and then good luck in the final main event.
Thank you so much.
That's beautiful. Really enjoyed that.
Right, and yeah, same. And I think we have a CO Nomad game package with LTI to give away now, if I'm not mistaken.
I like that. Let's pull up the race results real quick, Marble. Have them up on screen while we do that. I guess you're doing all the magic there. Maybe I can take just a few seconds to again announce that, you know, this race is presented by Specter Labs. They are giving away some exciting prizes for every division race. Custom printed keyboard mouse pads of any size. They're absolutely amazing. And if you want to check that out, you can go to printyourpad.com, and yeah, grab yourself one or come race and win one.
Heck yeah. Really quickly, I'll give just a few seconds. Everybody in chat, quickly name who you think is going to win main event 3. That way we can get a bunch of activity in chat really quick, and then we'll randomly draw a name out there for somebody to walk away with this Nomad.
Oh man! At this point, though, who am I rooting for? Am I still rooting for Boltalk? I'm gonna stay with Boltalk. Boltalk with 3 points in the lead. I'm rooting for him. I hope Splend does well. I hope he can put some real fire behind Boltalk, but I hope that Boltalk comes out on top.
Phoba still, I think, in theory, could win this. If Boltalk comes, well, I don't know, maybe. If Boltalk comes last, Shagnu comes last, and Phoba wins. So
Marble, could we have a look at the Olympic scoring? See if that's working okay? It's the next scene over. Yeah, that's the one. Let's see if those scores are working. Of course not. Wait, they are working? Yeah, they're working. So yeah, there you can see 3 points for Boltalk, of 5 points for Shagnu, 6 points for Splen, and the list runs down. So yeah, there are still some possibilities there. We've got a new first-time chatter as well. Hancock saying Splen, easy. Cyberfox saying, hi, you just called him Boba. Dude, we call him Phoba, Boba, Bet, Fet, it's everything. He doesn't make it easy on us.
When you have a couple of idiots like us talking, it's your own fault if your name is hard to say. So.
Yeah, we shake our fist at Splen for some amazing turn names around this track. We either butcher them or forget them. We've got the Cinnamon Twist, we've got Whammer's Whip, we've got Drift, Donut Drift, we've got Burger Buns, Bun Run?
Burger, the Bun Run, yeah.
It's, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Spaghetti Island and Alfredo.
No! See, now you're making something up.
I don't know. It's just it's a bunch of hilarious, awesome names. And I can't remember who was responsible. Somebody will mention it in chat. But yeah, huge props to the responsible party for naming these, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So,
all right, so we have a winner for our Nomad. And the winner is... hopefully I say this right, Crispy Python.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations. Yeah, I will PM you, and we'll get this out to you.
Crispy Python, what a beautiful name. Thank you for joining us and supporting XGR. We're glad to have you be a part of it. And maybe you can tell us, are you going to keep this Nomad for yourself, or are you maybe giving it to somebody else as a sort of starter package? They, of course, come with a game package included, so that's always really nice. Yeah. Keep tuning in and keep coming back for more, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Big congrats, and yeah, we'll get this out to you. Hopefully you enjoy. Nomad is an awesome ship.
Not quite a Python. I would like to see a Python. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think Python, we're talking Elite Dangerous at this point. I think Python is probably my favorite. I mean, I want to call it a medium-sized ship, even though it's on the big side. I don't know how it I don't know actually know how big that thing would look in Star Citizen, since skill is so different here.
Probably way more massive than you think, because all the skill's so blown up over there.
Yeah, interesting. All right, we'll get our eyes back on the start finish with, of course, Splen in the lead as he won the first heat. The heats are, of course, the qualifiers. Connor is saying Python was a good boat. Yeah, to be fair, though, I actually didn't enjoy flying it as much as I liked the look of it. It was really, really sluggish for its Elite Dangerous size and how much it could carry. It was not a bad ship by any means, but it was always better, you know? I always felt like if you go a little lighter, you got better. If you go a little heavier, you got better. So it always kind of set in between.
30 seconds, green flag.
I don't know how we got on this, but yeah, same for me.
I don't know.
Too slow and heavy.
His name is Python, Crispy Python. All right, so Splen is in the lead of this race, starting on pole position. We've got Boltalk currently in the running lead with only 3 points, and less points is more. Let's see what who comes out on top in the next 6 laps.
Heck yeah, excited to see it.
Stay tuned as well for more. The races are off.
And we're off.
Splen is fast. I have one
Yeah,
really
you'll notice
wide line.
that instant tricording right off the start just to
Yeah.
get that boosted acceleration.
I love seeing the tricording here because people don't just fly straight off the line. They pitch forward and down like a helicopter. And you might think that's a little weird, but of course you're introducing additional thrusters to where you want to go, and it makes you go faster, and it is absolutely beautiful. Not to spoil the race, but oh, we have a crash. Shacknew and Gerbo.
Shacknew! Oh,
I think they
didn't quite
merged.
catch if they collided. Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
collided and bounced off each other.
We have a new race leader too, with Boltok then in the lead, Splen in 2nd place.
Yeah, Deku in a close 3rd. He's showed some pace, at least in these mains, so we'll see if he can close on these guys a little bit or if they'll just run away.
Boltok still running in the lead then. Retro braking towards Whammer's whip, pitching down to adjust his vector to introduce a little bit of sync. Splen then in a very close 2nd place as Boltok is really going for the reverse now into the tunnel to Cinnamon Twist. Splen a lot faster. He's out! He hits it!
Splen is out! Oh, no!
He jinxed himself in our little interview then, as Boltok is also a little slow, but Splen is out. He hits that side after mentioning how he really, really didn't want to hit it. I guess we shouldn't have asked.
We'll have to ask about that, though, too, because it almost looked like Boltok and Splen could have touched just a little bit there, and that could have sent him off, but it was hard to make out, so we'll have to ask about that after the race.
Wow, I'd be really surprised if there was a collision. It didn't look that way to me, but yeah, anything is possible. Boltok, I don't know. Boltok did run a bit of a funky line, kind of midway through the Cinnamon Twist, so maybe.
Yeah, it didn't look like they bounced, but it just at one point it looked like basically their markers were inside of each other, you know, at least from the angle I was looking at, so it could have been a little bump there, potentially.
So for Splen, this means he gets 4 points, finishing in 4th place. Gosh, that means he is 10 points in total, with Boltok obviously still running in a clear lead at this point, with Shacknew having obviously, gosh, we'll have to do the math here. Shacknew had 5 points, now he gets, we'll have to figure out which person DNF'd first and to find out who gets 6 points and who gets 5 points between Shacknew and Gerbo. Because, I mean, at worst, Shacknew and Splen tie. I mean, who's counting at this point anyway? We really only care about the winner, considering there's only a winner prize. But yeah, he's looking at 3rd or 4th place, I believe.
And speaking of winner, Boltok is once again looking very, very convincing here, looking to pretty much dominate on the day, besides that 2nd place to Splen in main event 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it looked like he had to correct a little bit there. Was really drifting for a while, but that's like the first major mistake I've seen from Boltok so far in these mains.
I think for the future, we got to work on some more onboards as well. I'd love to see Boltok drifting around the donut. Obviously looking over his right shoulder. You can see the tricord attitude he's got there. He's pitched down, he's rotated left, he's applying main thrust, strafe left, strafe up, engaging an absolute optimal combination of thrust there to get the best out of his ship and run the tightest line. Love seeing it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful way to fly. It's also very, very consistent, especially the way he pulls it off. You keep very, very in control of the ship, and, you know, that's part of the reason why he's been so dang consistent all day long.
We've been talking about master modes for quite a while now. Obviously, having had our hands on it, we've got some feedback threads open in our Discord. Lots of people are talking about it on Spectrum too. If you've got any words to share, now would be the time.
Yeah, definitely. Make your voice heard, you know. express your opinion and influence the direction of the way Star Citizen goes. That's the whole reason for us testing this project and playing the game as we are right now.
I think you and I and a lot of people in our server, in our community, racers, are a big fan of tricording. It's something very special to the flight behavior. It's also quite realistic. I won't go on another tangent here. But yeah, we really enjoy tricording for what it brings to the flight model. It's beautiful to see. It takes skill to get the best out of your ship, and we love seeing it.
Yeah. I'll just say Star Citizen's flight model as it sits right now, unfinished, is ridiculously fun. Such a good time. So I definitely don't want to see anything that would compromise that that amazing flight model that exists right now.
I can't believe we're
Boltok on lap 4 right now. Okay, we're already 2/3 of the way through this race.
No, he's now on his 5th, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm confused, man.
He'll be going into lap 5 here. This last pass, he's got to go down through the donut hole and then.
Oh, he was. Yeah, that's right.
Make
he
his
was
way
on the
through
other
the tricky
forks.
section. Yeah.
I'm making the mistake our race director made, and he won. Obviously, they're passing through forks twice, and only one of them is the start finish.
Oh, and that sun is right in the way there. Apologies there.
Oh yeah. Marble says it looks cool though. Yeah, that's what matters.
My corneas are not happy about it. I'll put it that way. All right, Boltok, yeah, lap 5, making his second to last pass around Donut Drift here. We'll check back into second place.
Post-race, we'll have a nice little podium. We'll set up for our top 3 today. So we give away our prize. We'll grab everybody for interviews and turn this into a party.
Yeah, Decodes in second place still. Got a massive gap to Boltok, and then it looks like there is a very big gap back to Phoba as well.
Did you
well,
happen
at least
to
according to time and scoring, is still circulating.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the latest ISC with all the audio stuff?
I did not. Haven't had a chance yet, unfortunately.
There's some beautiful examples in there, some little sneak previews about everything they're doing with reactive sound inside of ships and how they communicate to pilots and passenger alike. All the crazy stuff that's happening. It's beautiful to see. It's really, really, really nice examples.
Oh, awesome. Really excited to see it. Love everything they do with ISC and showcasing all of the awesome stuff they got working on, things we can drool over.
Absolutely. It's starting to look more and more like, it's starting to sound more and more like a movie trailer, which is great. You know how it always sounds more punchy in trailers?
Yeah.
Well, that's Star Citizen gonna be as you're flying the ship, so that's really nice.
Awesome stuff. All right, final lap for Boltok here. See if he can get through this cleanly one last time. Definitely has no pressure on his shoulders at this point, apart from just keeping it clean.
Surely he can, right?
I would assume so at this point.
I'm not casting a curse, I promise.
If he crashes now, you are going to get chewed out in a foreign language. Well, I should say, you're going to get chewed out in French.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
can't say
foreign to
foreign
everyone.
language.
It's my foreign language.
That's too good. You're showing your Americanness.
Yep. Center of the universe, apparently.
Is it true y'all still do the center American world maps?
No. It's typically on the left, the Western Hemisphere is on the left side, and then the Eastern Hemisphere is on the right. But
All right, final stretch for Boltok. One more cinnamon twist to go. He's been in top form today. You just can't say otherwise. I feel like Splen has the potential to be faster, but if we're talking consistency, Boltok is unbeatable.
Yeah, we say this all the time. Racing and time trial, even though they share a lot of things, they are still two very different things. And the best racers aren't always going to hold all the top records, and the top record holders aren't always going to win every race. It's just the way it works. Congratulations, Bull Talk. Awesome race day.
Yeah, absolutely. Stellar performance by him. We'll focus on the start line here. We've still got Deku and Phoba racing. Here comes Deku now through the start finish and across it. Just Phoba left then. Still a little ways back.
Just Phoba left.
One cinnamon twist to go.
Through his last pass. If I don't crash into anything here.
Then we'll start mathing this out. We obviously have a clear winner. Boltok is your winner today. He'll be walking or flying away as he so chooses with a 400i with Fortuna Pain. Game package. I hear an explosion. Oh,
Phoba crashed right before the finish on the antennas.
He does it.
Oh.
Well, that's a shame.
Good show, Phoba.
Yeah, he put up a show there. I mean, he had nobody else behind him. So, you know, regardless, he would have finished in third place.
Same finish, yeah.
So that's really good. Let's pull up the race results, Marble, and start mathing this puppy out. Splen, let's start with Boltok because we know he won. He's got a total of 5 points, if I'm not mistaken. Or 4 points, doesn't he? Yeah, he's 4 points.
Yep. So Boltok on 4, Splen on 10. And then we have a 3-way tie for third place between Phoba, Dekuds, and Shaknu, all with 11 points. And then
So
Gerbo in 6th with 16 points.
It'll be Phoba coming out on top then. Deku.
It'll be Dekuds because he's got the best finish in main event 3. Yeah, so yeah, Deku will take home the last spot on the podium for today for the overall.
Wow, that was absolutely stunning. We'll wait for race director to confirm real quick that the scores are punched in on the sheet as well. And we'll pull that up and show you the winner. You said Deku and Phoba were...
Deku, Phoba, and Shaknu were all tied on 11 points.
Deku is 10, huh? Maybe I'm crazy.
You might be right. That's what I'm seeing right now.
He was on 8 points. Now he's on 2. So that's 10 points. He's in a clear second place.
No. So he had a third, a sixth, and a second. So that should be 11 points, yeah.
Third, 6. Oh, I have him in 5th. I guess maybe... I thought he finished 5th in Heat 2, or in Main 2.
Gotcha.
Oh, well.
At least according to this back-end scoring, we had him in 6th, but yeah.
Right. So, for our race direction, let's get our podium then set up on one of the hangar pads. We've got Boltok, Deku, and Phoba. No, I'm saying that wrong. Is Boltok, Splen, and Shaknu? No? Help me out. Help!
Boltok, Splen, and Deku should be our podium, yep. From what I'm seeing here.
Well, we'll believe you over me because I tend to get it wrong. I will fill the space by thanking everybody so much for tuning in. We love doing these competitive division racing events. We're going to do a lot more competitive racing, of course, moving forward. But we are going to make some changes as well. We've got nothing specific to tell you yet. But we're always looking for ways to improve, of course. The competitive scene, but also the casual racing scene. We want to do a lot more open racing where the pressures might be a little lower and everybody might feel a little more encouraged to join the events and have a good time. So watch this space. We're gonna hit you up on Discord and our social medias with all the exciting things we have planned. And it is a lot. But essentially, it'll introduce more casual racing as well as more exciting, bigger and better competitive racing. as well. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and those results should be up now, I believe, even though they might be a little broken, but I believe they are correct at least.
Broken is fine. Let's hit the Olympic scorings and have a look.
Yep,
there
so
it is.
that should be our order there. Yeah, Boltok with 4 points in first, Splen with 10 in second, a three-way tie for third with Decoods coming out on top because of his best main event 3 finish, had the better of finish out of all 3.
That's gorgeous, man. I love it's always great when you can rely on the systems to do the math for you.
Yeah.
What a performance by Boltok. Really, really, I hoped it. I was watching him run into heats and thinking, this dude's really running very consistent. And then seeing him do exactly the same thing in the mains. Wow, what a performance.
Yeah, great job. Just, like I said, as close to domination as you can get without actually dominating since Splen took that second main event, but just totally consistent. I saw, like I said, one mistake from him, one overshoot. I'm sure more happened, but as far as visible mistakes, there were very, very little.
It's just a shame to essentially... I feel like Shaqnu had Splen had a lot more in him and just had some unfortunate crashes. I feel like, yeah, it shows that battle, that fight between consistency and speed. And again, Scratch one for the consistency.
Yeah, yep.
Let's hide the streams then, Marble, or the scores, I mean, rather. And I think we've got our podium just starting to line up. Got some beautiful Mustang Gammas.
Still, it's so funny how ship looks small, feels kind of small in general, and then you actually fly it next to something like a P-72 or an M50 and you realize how big this sucker is. Or look at that guy standing there and be like, yeah, this is actually a pretty big ship. Not the tiny little fighter-sized ship like a lot of the other racers are.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, it surely isn't small. All right, should we start talking to some peeps, congratulating them?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Boltok, congratulations. Great racing. Super consistent all day.
Boltok, félicitations, très consistant toute la journée.
Merci, merci aussi à vous d'avoir organisé tout ça.
Can I just ask, what are you going to do with your new 400i?
He said thank you for organizing this and thank you everyone. Il a dit qu'est-ce que tu vas faire avec ton 400i de Fortuna?
Ça, je ne sais pas encore.
He said he doesn't know yet.
Do you like the 400i? Are you going to make that your home ship? Are you going to have a nice sleep in there and rest from the race? Or...
Est-ce que tu aimes la 400i? Est-ce que ça va être ta nouvelle maison ou tu vas mettre ton lit et tout ça ou bien?
Ouais, je pourrais m'en servir pour changer de quantum, pour aller d'un point A à un point B pour aller low fly, ce sera plus rapide.
He said yes, he's gonna use it to add little snub ships in there and then to go from point to point to do his low flying like he does always.
Nice.
Awesome, awesome.
But we also have flybys going on here.
Where's the flybys?
Awesome.
I hear flybys, I get distracted.
I think you're part of them.
Nice.
All right, let's put Splen down here too and talk to him as well.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Shaqnu too.
Hello there.
As our racing instructor.
Hey,
How's it going?
Hey, good. Quick question, really quick, just because we couldn't quite make it out. Did you and Boltok bump at all there on that crash, or was that just a unforced error?
Nope, that was all me.
Gotcha.
Dude, talk about jinxing yourself, man. We were just talking about avoiding the structures and then you plow right into one.
Yeah, some days you're the dog, some days you're the hydrant. The only thing I wish for is more sleep.
You don't have a good double dog pun for us?
Some days you're the ketchup, some days you're the mustard that dripped onto the floor.
All right, we'll take it. Thank you so much for designing this beautiful track. It's always so much fun. I really enjoyed the first Pro-Am race we did here, like way back. And to see another one of those battles on our hand is great. For context, we did a race here before where Splen was running a 350R, I believe, and others were running like P72s, and he still beat them.
Well, I mean, you say that, but actually, I believe CCC came out just on top, and we had to do a tiebreaker down at the Skyscraper, but it was an awesome race. We still have the video over on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's so true. That is
but
so
anyway,
true. I forgot
yeah,
about that part.
My pleasure. Even though I didn't have the greatest day, it's always an honor to race with you guys, and I'm especially glad that I was able to, help put together such an amazing, zero-G training course. Really, there's a little bit of everything in here, and getting good at this course will make you truly a very, very good zero-G racer. So happy to be here. It was very fun, regardless, and looking forward to the next one.
Very true, man.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, man. You're an awesome ambassador for the sport of Star Citizen racing on top of everything else. So huge props.
Word.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
So I think we heard that Shaknu was missing in action. Would have loved to hear what he thought about today's race, but we'll catch him on the next one. And with that, do you have any closing words?
Yeah, not for me. Just great racing to everybody. Thanks so much to all of the folks that go into supporting these events. You're much appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, can only emphasize those words. We wouldn't be able to do this without the likes of Shaknu, Luigi, Turrican, Kaylee Star, Marble Maze, everybody else that's helping host these. Steve CC is our most recent race instructor. And of course, every single racer that is joining these events when, they do require a lot of practice, a lot of your times, and you're putting on an amazing show with your skills. So we really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
Amen.
And we'll see you on the next one.
07.